It's your girl, Miriam. I'm sorry that you can see the ring light is so strong that you probably can't even see my eyes. Your girl has run out of contact lenses. Shout out to my fellow four-eyed brothers and sisters out there who desperately need glasses to see. So if I take these off, then like I can't see. But I'm trying to find my fidget spinner that my old student gave me, and I can feel it in my coat. But the thing about this coat is, my mom got me this lovely coat from the local Goodwill. That's like my family's favorite store. We love to thrift shop. Whatever happened to that guy Macklemore who made that song Thrift Shop? Comment down below if you know what happened to Macklemore. Anyways, so you know sometimes when you buy things used, it's not in perfect condition. So the coat has one of the pockets is like given out, but if you put things in the pockets, the things don't like fall out onto the ground, you know? I wouldn't put anything in the pocket then, but like it falls deep down inside of the coat and like kind of shifts around the whole coat. And like it's like I can store things in there. I know that it's in here because I felt it the other day. I have a snack. That's a snack for later. It's in here. It's in here. For the haters who doubted me. Okay, now I can start. Hello. This video is for any of my subscribers. Hello, subscribers. Okay, I love anybody who subscribes to me. Like, it still just blows my mind that people like subscribe to me. So I'm so grateful for all my subscribers. But I don't know, I just want to especially just like shout out you guys who are watching this video right now, even though it's not a hair video. Some of you guys are searching for another video to watch now because I just told you that this is not a hair video. Well, obviously, my hair looks different. Believe it or not, it's well, actually, you probably can believe it because it's giving different textures. There's different textures going on right now. That is because this is a V-part wig. This is the V-part wig that I used to really help like grow my hair or whatever. And it gets very matted, very tangled now or whatever. So now when I wear it with like this kind of, this wild child sort of look. You know what I mean? So anyways, I thought I would just get on here or whatever and just see where my mind takes me. My mind, if I just think of like a word, I could just start talking about something related to that word. You know what I mean? Actually, especially like, I guess it's a useless talent or whatever, but like if you could say any word, just give me a word, and I'll start singing a song that has that word in it. Okay? So, yeah, I always try and like play that. I consider that to be like a game, and I like try and play it with my sisters, or just friends or whatever, and my sisters get really annoyed with me. Actually, one of my sisters just FaceTimed me like an hour and a half ago, whatever. And I was singing or whatever because, y'all, I'm gonna audition for a musical. In a few weeks, you know? So I've been like trying to figure out like what song I'm gonna sing because you're supposed to sing like a song from like one of your favorite musicals. And there's just so many. There's so many. But I think I decided on one. It's called Some Things Are Meant to Be. It's from Little Women, and it's so beautiful. I want to sing it on my channel one day, maybe with my big sister who has the voice of an angel. She's the sister who inspired all my sisters to like do plays, do musical theater and stuff like that. She was like a triple threat. So I've said it before. I used to copy her so much. I was so jealous of her. I wanted to be her. But anyway, she's the reason I went natural in the first place. But in high school, I wanted to be just like her. We went to a predominantly Caucasian high school, and she ended up getting the lead for the musical, the year's musical, which was Singing in the Rain. So she played Kathy, and that was like the first time that had ever happened at that school. The lead in the school musical being a black woman, you know? So anyways, yeah, she was the lead. And of course, I auditioned for the play and everything too. And so I was in the ensemble, and shout out to the ensemble, okay? Or the extras. I was an extra. There she is, just like super popular, is starring in the musical, just this triple threat, and I'm literally in the background practicing my 2 lines, and they got cut. So back to her. She has the voice of an angel, and she's an amazing mom to my nieces and nephew, and you know, I don't know who watches the singing videos, so whether they get views or whether they don't, it's something that I enjoy doing. Singing, I sing like so much. So I want to sing that song with her one day on my channel, because it's a duet of sisters. It's very moving. So anyways, I think that that's gonna be the song that I use to audition. So I'll let y'all know how it goes. I'll let y'all know if I make it or if I get my line cut. But yeah, anyway, so I was singing it when I was FaceTiming with my other sister, and then the other sister I have 3 sisters, so the other one was like, hang up. Sorry, I know this video is so random, and I'm like, oh, I'm sure people are like exiting out of the video right now as I speak. So I'm trying to find like something interesting to discuss, something that an adult would discuss, like stocks and taxes. I don't know. Maybe one of these days, if anybody actually like wants to know any sort of, I don't know, information about me, or like, yeah, information about me, or has like questions that like you want me to answer about like anything. So maybe like, you know, people do like Q&As and stuff or whatever. I don't know if anybody's like interested in something like that, like comment down below, and I'll figure out how that works. I don't even know how those work. Like, do I have to go on live or something? I have like 2 people. I have like 2 people on live. It'll be mom. No, it won't be mom, because mom don't even watch my videos. It'll be I don't know. I have like I have like 2 people. So so I don't know how to do like how you do a Q&A, you know what I mean? Like, do you like email me questions and then I compile them all and then like answer in a video? I gotta figure it out. But if you want that, let a sister know. Oh, another thing. And another one. It's almost my 6-year anniversary of eating vegan. I'm almost at 6 years as vegan. I was vegetarian before that. Why did I become vegan? If anybody cares. I'm not one of those like holier than thou vegans. It's like, it offends me that you're eating meat right now. I don't like comment on what people eat at all. I just eat what I eat. You know what I mean? It's other people who want to test me and come for my food and be like, saying, you know, being like, oh, you don't know what you're missing, or oh, that vegan food, blah blah blah. It's like, I don't come for your food. Why you gotta come for my food? You know what I mean? Like, years ago, I like had this internship at a refugee organization. It was called International Rescue Committee. One of the ladies that I met there, she took me to a Mediterranean place, and so she introduced me to this dish called, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it. I could put on the screen. Mujadara? I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. I know that I'm saying it wrong, but basically it's, oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's literally so simple. It's brown rice, lentils, and caramelized onions. So good. And of course, like, you know, some spices and salt and all that sort of stuff. I actually became vegan because several doctors convinced me that I had cancer. So basically I had like a cancer scare almost 6 years ago, and so the first time I had to get a biopsy. It was in my neck. It was, by the way, it was like my thyroid related issues that I had, or that I take thyroid medicine now anyways. But yeah, so I had to get like, you know, a needle biopsy or whatever. So like the day that I had that's when I decided to just cut out all like all the milk and dairy and eggs and stuff that I was eating a lot, you know, as a vegetarian and stuff. So I love like living sort of like a plant-based lifestyle. I really like what it's done to my physical health and, you know, my weight and my body. I've definitely lost weight. So much so that my doctor was like, are you okay? Like, you haven't been trying to lose weight? Like, this is like a significant amount of weight you've lost. And that was just because like, when you become plant-based, there's just so much that you can't eat anymore that you used to or whatever. So it's been within the last like couple years, especially the last 1 year though, that I've like been intentional about like increasing my weight, if that makes sense. just because I prefer to have, a little more weight on me than when I was like super, super slender, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how, this diet has helped my weight and stuff like that. If I look at pictures of myself now versus looking at pictures of myself when I was like 18, 19, like 10 years ago, I definitely prefer now, you know what I mean? Someone said that I was cooked, which I didn't know what that term meant, but apparently they were like, oh, like you were cooked in high school, which basically means like you weren't cute. you weren't cute. And I was like, hey, don't talk about my younger self, okay? Because I love her, you know what I mean? Like, she's me. And your younger self is you know what I mean? But, sometimes I do look back at pictures and I'd be cringing.
It is so bad, I want to give you a 0, but that's not possible. So I give you a 1.
And obviously, like, I'm not a model or anything now, but I like to think that I've learned, like, more how to do stuff, you know what I mean? How to do like a little bit of makeup. I don't know how to like beat my face, but I've definitely come some way. Since high school and college. I'm really just thankful. I'm thankful for YouTube and people putting up tutorials, and especially like black women or just women of like my skin tone and stuff like that, putting up tutorials on how to do makeup and stuff like that, and of course how to do hair or whatever. I appreciate the channels and stuff that are, I don't know, just about teaching women how to work with what they have, you know what I mean, and to become like, I don't know, their best selves, you know what I mean. But yeah, thinking about becoming vegan and stuff like almost 6 years ago, it just has me thinking about that time in my life. I think it's 3 years ago that I posted that video talking about DPDR, or depersonalization and derealization. It's like a mental health thing, where basically you kind of just have like, I don't know if you've ever had an out-of-body experience before. It kind of just feels like you're having like out-of-body experiences like all the time. Like it feels like you're like you're physically here, but you're not all the way. You're not really here, if that makes sense. So let me just read it. So DPDR disorder occurs when you always or often feel that you're seeing yourself from outside your body, or you sense that things around you are not real, or both. So you may feel like you're living in a dream. So I put that video out, just talking about my experience with that. And I haven't talked about it on my channel since then, but I do still experience DPDR like a lot, where I just kind of feel like I'm in a dream, if that makes sense. And so I they're like, oh, well, you need to just like activate your 5 senses, like intentionally or whatever, to just kind of help ground you, remind you that like, oh, you're not dreaming, you're here, this is real and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that I see, or something that I feel, something that I hear, or something, just kind of like trying to help like ground you and stuff like that. Because once in a while I get kind of like frustrated about it, but not as much anymore. I kind of just, something that I've not saying that you should just accept things that you don't like about your life, or that you're unhappy or whatever. I don't want to say that, but what's that quote that's like, oh, I think it's a prayer. Oh God, give us the serenity to accept what cannot be changed, the courage to change what can be changed, and the wisdom to know the one from the other. Making peace with the things that I can't change. So, I tried to find all these ways to like fix DPDR and everything, and to stop experiencing it or whatever. But I haven't exactly been able to like find a cure to it. So I've learned to just live with it and to just push through it, if that makes sense. Because again, I'm learning to just make peace with the things that I can't change. Basically, you get DPDR when you experience like a traumatic situation. It can be different traumatic things that can happen in your life. There's a range of them that can happen for different people that trigger DPDR. So basically, like it's basically like your body, it's like you can't handle the amount of anxiety and stress and stuff that you're feeling. So then your body just like goes numb. I don't know. It's like your, I don't know, your central nervous system or something like that, in order to protect you. And so because you just can't handle the amount of emotions and stress and anxiety that you're feeling, it just makes you go numb, so that like you can't feel the anxiety and the worry and the stress anymore. It takes that away. It makes you numb, but then it kind of numbs you out in general. Like your emotions are kind of like dulled and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain if you've never experienced it, but they say that almost everybody experiences that at some point in their life. But you know, to help them get through a you know, a horrible like a bad like situation that they're in. But that for most people it goes away, you know, like right afterwards. But for some people it just stays. It just won't go away. And that's been my experience, honestly, ever since like 2018, when I first had that cancer scare. And I was so anxious like for a whole year, and I was having panic attacks, and they were like, you need to have surgery and blah blah blah. And I was so scared, and then like several months went by, and then all of a sudden I realized I couldn't feel anything. I was just numb. I was just completely numb. I couldn't feel anxiety. I couldn't feel sadness. And I couldn't feel happiness either. I couldn't feel happiness or joy. That's something I can do a whole separate video about. So I'll kind of leave it at there. I'll kind of leave it there for now. But yeah, so that was 2018. And then when right before I had surgery at the end of 2018, I was convinced that I was going to die in surgery, right? And so at that point, I was 23 years old. I had never been on a date. Nobody had ever asked me on a date. So I'd never been on a date. So obviously I never had my first kiss. And I was like, I cannot die without having my first kiss. So what did I do? At like the beginning of November of 2018, I downloaded Bumble. I downloaded Bumble because my coworker like met her husband on online dating, and she was like, you should do it. It's like, you should get on online dating. It's like really fun. And that's how I met my husband. So I downloaded Bumble, and the very first guy I matched with, I thought he was so cute. He was a med student like in the city that I lived in. Like he went to like the big university that was in that city, and he was like a second or third year med student. And you know, besides like me thinking that he was cute, he just really knew how to carry on a conversation, like a real conversation. Like it was just boom, it was like instant. It wasn't like that, you know, if you talk to guys or women on online dating or whatever, some people just don't know how to carry on a conversation. It's just so dry, so whack, so lame. And I'm like, but no, from the start, he knew how to just like ask like really good questions. And I like to think that I ask like people really good questions, because I love to just like dig deep, you know what I mean? And like just learn about like people and like why people are the way that they are, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, we just like clicked like conversationally wise. And so he like asked me on a date, and I was like, oh my gosh, the first time somebody asked me on a date, I just started to become like very sentimental. I'm quite a sentimental person in general, but I was like, oh my gosh, like the first time someone asked me on a date. The beginning of November 2018, he asked me on a date, and then we went on the date November 14th, 2018. It was a Wednesday, and I was gonna have my surgery like 2 weeks after that, like right after, I think it was right after Thanksgiving I had my surgery. But anyways, I was like, I am gonna go on a date. I'm gonna go on my very first date, and I'm gonna land my first kiss. Where did we go? I think we got drinks like after he had class. And oh my gosh, wait. It's coming back to me. I've not thought about this in a minute. It's coming back to me. We were sitting at like this high table, and I guess I brought up my that I was about to go into surgery, and he was a med student. So I had to have surgery on my neck, right? It was like thyroid related. And so on the date, he like reached over the table. Well, he was like, can I? And I was like, okay. And so he like reached over the table and started like feeling my neck and like feeling my thyroid like a doctor would. And I don't remember what his diagnosis was. And then after that, we like left and just like walked around like on the sidewalk and stuff for a little bit. And it was like, yeah, it was like, I mean, I guess it was November, so I don't know. I guess Christmas lights weren't up yet, but it was still, I just remember it was like pretty out there, and it was like a cool November night. And he like held my hand and kissed me, and I was like, so that's what a kiss is. So yeah, we ended up going on like a few more dates after that. As cute and sweet and funny as he was, and like we were able to talk like so much and everything, and I really enjoyed our conversations. I'm actually the one who ended up like, you know, ending things with him, because actually, one, you know, obviously I was then too, and he was actually respectful about it, and was just was like, didn't try and like pressure me to do that, or be like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you anymore, like hang out with you because you won't give that to me. But he got on online dating, I think, as like a distraction or whatever, because his girlfriend of like 3 years had just dumped him. So he wasn't really in a place or really looking for something like very serious or anything like that. And I was, after I survived the surgery, by God's grace, I woke up and I was like, I'm still here. Okay, let me try. I need to try and find, I'm always, wanting to like find my forever, find my husband, as I'm still looking for. But I digress. No, I'm not really looking like that right now, but anyways, back then I was like, no, I want to date with intentionality, and you know what I mean? Like, and you got some healing to do, my man, like 3 years, so yeah, I felt really bad. I felt so bad. So that was December when I ended up ending things with him. I didn't reach out because I wanted him to be able to heal and all that sort of stuff. And he never reached out to me. So, but of course I thought about him. I mean, you don't forget the first date that you went on, or at least I feel like people don't. I don't know. Comment below if you forgot the first date you went on, or if you remember it. Comment below, because I would love to hear about it, and I'd love to hear about it. But anyways, so never ran into him, never talked to him. Then it was the end of May of the next year, so May of 2019. One of my friends who I went to high school with, he lived in New York City. So I went up to New York City to visit him for the weekend. Like literally, I think I went on like a Friday and then like came back on Sunday. I took the Greyhound bus. Shout out to Greyhound. Oh my gosh. The things you see on the Greyhound bus. Or Peter Pan, bruh. Stories for another day. Bruh. People are unhinged. People on buses can be unhinged. It's actually, I have several stories. I had just gotten to the train. I was running through, what is that terminal called? Port Authority. I don't know how I forgot. Port Authority. That's where all the buses were. There was metros. I was like running late, and I thought that I was gonna miss my bus, and I needed to get back. I'm running through Port Authority, and I'm like, got my luggage and all that sort of stuff, and I'm like, looking. And so like, as I'm like running, I look to my right, and I already had my ticket and everything, so I didn't need to stop at like the Greyhound front desk or whatever, where people were like getting tickets and stuff like that. I turned to the right and I saw like the Greyhound area where like the workers were and people were like buying tickets, the counter. And it was very far away. This guy was staring at me. Like, he was staring at me, and it looked like he was with a woman, and I was like, why is that guy staring at me? His woman needs to check him, because I'm telling you, when I get a man, someday, somehow, some way, if I ever see him staring at another woman, So I was like, she needs to get her man. Why is he staring at me? So I kept running, and I went down the escalator really fast with my stuff, blah, blah, blah. I found like where the bus was, that was my bus, and people were like lined up and everything, and there was this worker, I don't remember his name, and he came up and he was talking to me, and he was like, I feel like he was trying to bust a move. He was trying to bust a move. And he was telling me I looked just like this girl in this music video. And so then he pulled up the music video, and I don't want to say he was forcing me to watch it, but you know how you try and be nice to people and stuff like that? And I just try to be nice to people, you know what I mean? So I'm just like standing there, and I'm just watching the music video on his phone, and in my mind I'm like, don't you got like work to do or something? Don't you got some work to do? Aren't you on the clock? Anyway, so I'm standing there and I'm watching it, and then you know, he was like, I'm a photographer on the side, and so here's my business card or whatever. Next time you come back to New York City, like, you know, hit me up, and like I'll take some pictures of you and blah blah blah. And I was like, absolutely, I will consider doing that. I will absolutely consider doing that. Sorry, God forgive me. So after the worker walks away, I hear a man's voice behind me say my name. Like a Miriam? And I turn around, and I don't know if you've ever just been totally caught off guard to run into somebody that you haven't seen in forever, and that you were, you know what I mean? I literally could not recognize who he was. And I was just staring at him. And then it finally hit me. I was like, oh my gosh. It was the guy that I went on my first date with 6 months before, who I never, ever once ran into in the city that we both lived in, which was several hours. And I mean several, like a long bus trip to get to New York City that I did that weekend to go see my friend. A quick trip, and I sat on that bus for hours and hours and hours. So it's not like we were from a city right outside of New York City and we ran into each other at the bus station. No, we were from a completely different state. He like gave me a hug, and I was just like, let's call him Safe. I was like, Safe? What are you doing here? He was like, I just came up here yesterday because my friend my friend is like engaged, and he had his bachelor party this weekend. So I came for one night, and now I'm headed back to our city. So I was like, I'm having an out of body experience because yes, even though I did end things with that guy, I did really like him. But back then, I was really like, and to an extent, I'm very like, I don't know. For a long time, I've like known what I wanted, I guess, if that makes sense. And I really wanted someone to like commit to me. You know what I mean? Like not just like casual dating and stuff like that. I wasn't looking for that, but I did really like him, and I loved like the conversations and stuff that we had. And obviously I thought he was really cute, and obviously he was really smart and stuff like that. Like, so anyways, like, I mean, I was like bummed that I never heard from him after that. I mean, after like, we stopped talking in December. I don't know if he had to go like to the bathroom or something like that, I don't know, but like I got in line, and then like, they started loading up, and I got on the bus, and then I noticed like there was like a delay with the bus getting on the road, and I looked up there and I saw that he was like talking to the bus driver or whatever. I think he was having like issues with his ticket, because I don't know, he like that's why he was at the ticket counter originally, because he like changed his ticket last minute or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but he was having issues. So I was sitting there on the bus, and I was like, this is crazy. My first date is my first date. The first guy I ever went on a date with we're on the same bus right now. But I was like, I don't even know if he's going to be on this bus back, like the same bus with me, because he's having issues or whatever. So I just tried to I put in my headphones, and obviously I like whipped out my phone to text my best friend and be like, you will not believe what I'm about to tell you. So anyways, so I like put my headphones in or whatever, and I just tried to I just turned on music and was like, just try not to think about it. But then after like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I like let myself scan the bus. And so I was like looking up in the front of the bus. I didn't see him. I was towards like the middle of the bus. And then I looked to the back, like I was in the right side of I looked like to the left, to the back, and he was like a few seats behind me, like more towards the back of the bus. And so like I looked back there and saw him, and he was like, and I was like, we're on the same bus right now. We're on the same bus right now. So then we got to so then the bus was, you know, driving for hours and stuff like that. We get to the rest stop, like the midway rest stop. And I had fallen asleep, and he like tapped my shoulder and was like, hey, like we're at the rest stop. Do you want to like get off and like get food or something like that? And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I'm gonna stretch my legs. Yeah, I'm gonna stretch my legs. So I got off the bus and we like hung out at the rest stop and just talked and caught up and stuff like that. And then, you know, then when we got back on the bus, he was like, can I sit with you? So then he sat with me. We had like, at that point we had several more hours to get back to our city. And yeah, he told me about his yeah, of course. And of course you're gonna act like, because we met on the dating app and we like went on dates and stuff like that, and you know, kissed. So obviously we're like curious about each other's dating life now, you know, since we last seen each other. And you know, obviously it was like, I'm not seeing anybody or anything. And I was like, what about you? And he was like, yeah, I actually I have a girlfriend. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, I love that for you. and I was like, tell me more about her. And he was like, well, she's in dentistry school and all this other stuff, blah blah blah. And I was like, a med student, a dentistry student. And he showed me a picture of her. She was so pretty. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, y'all. I try and be for real. I try and keep it for real. Keep it 100. I was so jealous. I was like, in my mind, I was like, why is she your girlfriend? You were ready to be in a relationship. Why didn't you want to be in a relationship with me? But it's fine. It's whatever. I know the reasons. I know the reasons. One, we were not of the same religion at all. So that was going to cause problems. We were not of the same culture. That was going to cause problems. And so this was years ago. I'm good now, by the way. I'm completely good, and I don't even think about or care. But that's just something that you just don't really forget, I guess, your first date. Or I should say, the first time that you really were into somebody and they were also into you back. Does that make sense? Like, that's something that I never experienced until I was 23 years old, about to have surgery. And I went on Bumble and met him. And then the rest is history. I've talked so much tonight already. I definitely don't just want to post YouTube hair shorts, because although those are fun and everything, if I wanted to just do videos like that, then I would be on TikTok. I really just have YouTube because I really like long form content. And even if I don't get as many views on my long YouTube videos, I will always prefer them, and I will always hold such a special place in my heart for those of you who take the time to listen to what I have to say. You know, whether it's about hair care or if it's about me auditioning for a musical or being rejected, constipation. I have such an array of videos on this channel. It's so scattered, but that's just it's just how I am. That's just how I am. So I'm just so grateful for you. If you're listening to this, if you're under the sound of my voice right now, I genuinely appreciate you. And I care about you. And I'd like to know you. I really would. So I am going to let you go. I'm going to love you and leave you. So stay unique, stay beautiful, and don't forget to be kind to yourself. Okay.
Bye.